Most people think building wealth requires a huge salary, perfect investments, or one lucky opportunity. But wealth usually works differently. It isn't one big decision. It's a system built from many smaller decisions. First, you need income, but earning money is only the beginning of the process. Without a plan, even a large income can disappear surprisingly quickly. The first step is understanding where your money actually goes every year. A budget isn't about making life miserable. It's about giving every dollar a purpose. Some expenses keep your life running. Others simply make life more comfortable. The problem begins when spending rises every time income rises. A higher salary can create a higher lifestyle. And suddenly, you're earning more without becoming wealthier. The difference between earning money and building wealth is what happens to the money after you receive it. That's why saving should happen before unnecessary spending, not only after everything else is paid. Before taking major investment risks, having money available for unexpected expenses can provide an important layer of protection. An emergency fund gives you something extremely valuable: breathing room. When an unexpected bill arrives, savings can prevent you from being forced into expensive financial decisions. Once your foundation is stronger, investing can give your money the opportunity to grow. The idea is simple. Instead of your money sitting completely idle, some of it can be put to work. But investing isn't free money. Every investment carries some level of risk. Before putting money into something, understand what you're actually buying and what could go wrong. A rising price doesn't automatically mean something is a good investment. Fear and excitement can make people buy at the wrong time and sell at the wrong time. That's why having a long-term plan can be more valuable than reacting to every market movement. And this is where one of the most powerful ideas in finance appears: compounding. Your money can generate returns, and those returns can eventually become part of the money generating future returns. But compounding needs something most people cannot buy back: time. The earlier you give your money time to grow, the more opportunities it has to compound. You don't need to make spectacular financial moves every week. Even relatively small contributions can become meaningful when repeated consistently over long periods. The difficult part isn't always starting. It's continuing when the results aren't immediately visible. Real wealth building is usually much slower than the internet makes it look. Whenever someone promises extraordinary returns with little or no risk, caution is necessary. In finance, higher potential rewards often come with higher uncertainty. The goal isn't to eliminate every risk, it's to understand which risks you can actually afford. One way investors manage concentration risk is through diversification. Instead of depending completely on one investment, your money can be spread across different areas. Different investments can behave differently under different economic conditions. That doesn't guarantee profits, but it can make a financial plan less dependent on one outcome. Now, consider another major part of the system: debt. Not all debt works the same way, but expensive debt can seriously slow financial progress. Every repayment represents part of your future income that has already been committed. The more of that future income goes toward debt, the less remains available for saving and investing. Reducing expensive debt can therefore become an important part of building financial flexibility. Interest can work against you when you're borrowing and potentially work for you when your money is growing. Learning how interest works can completely change the way you look at money, because financial literacy isn't about memorizing complicated formulas. It's about knowing what questions to ask before making important financial decisions. What does this cost? What is the risk? What happens if things go badly? Small percentages can become enormous when applied to large amounts of money over long periods. Even small recurring fees can reduce long-term returns, especially when they continue for years. The boring details of a financial decision can sometimes matter more than the exciting headline. And that's why automation can be so powerful. When saving or investing happens automatically, you don't have to make the same decision every month. The system makes the decision for you. One simple principle is to treat your future self like an important bill that must be paid. When income arrives, set aside part of it before lifestyle spending has a chance to consume everything. It doesn't have to be a huge amount. What matters is creating a habit that you can maintain. Financial progress can feel boring because the biggest results may not appear immediately, but every contribution is another piece added to the system. Constantly changing your strategy can make it harder to build momentum. There will always be another hot investment, another market prediction, and another financial trend. You don't need to participate in every opportunity. A good plan gives you something to return to when emotions become loud. Markets will rise, markets will fall. Economic conditions will change. The challenge is making decisions based on your plan rather than your emotions. Sometimes the most productive financial action is simply staying consistent. Time allows good habits to accumulate and gives investments the opportunity to experience long-term growth. Of course, saving isn't the only lever. Improving your skills and increasing your earning potential can also accelerate your financial progress. The goal isn't simply to earn more so you can spend more. The goal is to create a larger gap between what you earn and what you spend. That gap can become the fuel for your financial system. Income enters. Spending is controlled. Savings create stability. Investments create potential growth. Automation keeps the system moving even when motivation disappears. Compounding then gives those repeated contributions the opportunity to grow on top of previous growth. You don't need to chase every market trend just because everyone else is talking about it. Understand the risk before reaching for the reward. Don't allow one investment, one asset, or one decision to determine your entire financial future. And don't allow debt to consume too much of the income you haven't even earned yet. When money arrives, remember to send part of it toward your future before spending the rest. Because small financial decisions, repeated for years, can create results that look anything but small. You may not see dramatic progress every month. That's normal. The choices you make today are quietly shaping the options available to you tomorrow. Income, spending, saving, investing, risk management, debt, and time all work together. Money is a tool. The real question isn't how much you have today. It's what system you're building with it